Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Apologies for running a little bit late. Everything's just been a bit slow this morning. You know, when you can't quite get into the stride of things. It's cold. It's wet. It's miserable, and I've not got going. But Spurs have made a signing. Not what we need in any way, shape, or form. But welcome to the club, Sosa. I believe it's pronounced Sosa from Santos. 19 years of age, left back. Depending who you speak to, depends on how great and generational this young player is. I don't know anything about him. I'm going to be brutally honest. I've seen probably, I've seen probably what you lot have seen. I've seen videos, but very difficult from the videos to tell, really, isn't it? Unless you watch a lot of a player regularly. But yeah, we'll be talking about him. We'll be talking about the rest of the window. Still, Tottenham Hotspur have not signed any forwards. No wingers, no forwards, no attacking mid. We have signed nothing in that area. An area where we are weakest is an area where we have once again so far neglected whilst the transfer window is open. So again, not that I care because I won't be here for the next transfer window. But as always, I'll say so far really thoroughly unimpressed with a Tottenham window. I'm sure somebody further down the line will go, "Oh, you liked the window." Thoroughly unimpressed at the moment. Not doing what we need. We've replaced Bentancur with Gallagher. Fine, like that. But in terms of buying what we actually need to make the squad stronger, to help the manager out, to help the teammates, we've not done it, have we? And unfortunately, we are now creeping towards that transfer deadline day, aren't we? It starts with, oh well, it's only day 3 of the window, and then it's only day 15, it's only day 20. We're now day 23, and it's like, okay, are we going to be active? Are we not? So I don't know. I don't know at the moment what Spurs are planning. I don't know whether that's it done. I keep hearing lots and lots of talk about, well, if we can't get our targets, I mean, how many years are we going to say this? This is their job. They've got to find other targets. This is their job. It can't be, Savio got injured, so we've got no one else that we can pick on the left wing. There's a whole world of footballers out there. There are leagues everywhere across the globe, and there are much better footballers than what we've got in this current squad. But hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So not really a lot we can do as Spurs fans. We just sit here and we go, right, come on, let's see what happens in the next few days. We're also going to be talking about the injury situation at Spurs that just seems to be here every year now. It doesn't seem to matter what the medical staff, what the manager, what players, it just seems to be constant medical emergencies at Tottenham. And I just don't know why. I don't know what the situation is. We're going to Sky Sports did a little bit on it yesterday, talking about how many injuries we've got, how many days missed, and you just look and you go, well, hang on, this was this year, last year, the season before. I can't even remember, if I'm honest. I can't remember the season before. I think we got a few injuries as well, not as bad, but it just feels like it's an ongoing thing. Are we buying injured players? Is it the way we're setting up? I have no idea. I have no idea. Is it a lack of squad depth? Is it a lack of quality? Meaning we're having to play the same players over and over again? Well, look, we've got a lot of injuries, so a lot of people have played a lot of minutes this season. I don't know. But we'll look at that. We'll look at the transfer window. We'll look at the signing of Sosa, and we'll look forward to Burnley. But I don't think anyone's ever said that sentence before, looking forward to Burnley. We'll look forward to Burnley away tomorrow, which is, I mean, is it a big game? Depending who you speak to, everyone's telling me he's got to win or he's going to be sacked. But Somebody's having Missy and Ginola. How's that? But the problem is I've got Sky Sports in there. So let me see if I can tilt Ginola so you can't see Sky Sports. I don't think you can see Sky Sports now, can you? Can you? Oh, you can a little bit, can't you? I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it just looked like Sky Sports was in the screen a lot. There you go. There you go. There is David Ginola. Let's stick Messi next to him. Come on, let's. There you go. There is. Oh no! See, as soon as the Messi one goes, it's Messi. I never thought I'd say this, but Lionel Messi is the problem. Look, again, some people saying he's got to win tomorrow. He's going to get sacked, but we heard that about West Ham. He didn't go. We've heard that about Dortmund. And maybe now we just get to the point where we stop doing this in-out game and we just give the manager some players, get him through to the end of the season. We're doing really well in the Champions League, aren't we? It's we'll talk about that actually, because it's a bit crazy, isn't it? You know, we've been very underwhelming in the Premier League, but in the Champions League, and it's got very much similarities to last season, right? In terms of, obviously we haven't ended the season yet, so we don't know where we're going to be, but the similarities that we seem to be able to get it together in Europe, but consistently in the league, we just can't seem to do it. And that's mirrored with our home form, right? Four wins out of 4 in the Champions League at home. But in the Premier League, struggled to get wins at home. And you're just scratching your head all the time, aren't you? Yeah. So look, lots to discuss, lots to go through. And we'll have a look at I'll have a look at some of your comments as well. But let's start with Sosa. What do you all think? What do you all think? Is he here? Welcome. First of all, welcome to Sosa, to Tottenham. Young lad. He's got some hype around him from those who watch the Brazilian league. I don't know. Has he been brought in to go straight into the first team? Has he been brought in to play second fiddle to a Dogie? Has he been brought in so that... one second. Oh, God, okay. Has he been brought in to go out on loan? I don't know. I genuinely don't know the answer to this question. I don't know how good he is. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. The first time we see him pull on a Spurs shirt will be the first time most of us are getting to actually watch him play football. So I genuinely don't know about this one. All we can say is welcome, and we hope it works. Obviously, it's difficult because I think a lot of people acknowledge this isn't what we need right now, but that's not this lad's fault, is it? It's not his fault. And obviously, if you're him, you're going to jump at the opportunity to move from Brazil to the Premier League and to move to Tottenham Hotspur. So completely get it. I just don't. Has anyone seen him? Has anybody seen him play? I don't know. It's a really difficult one. Normally when a player signs, you know about them, right? So, you know, when Conor Gallagher signed, we know about Conor Gallagher. We've seen him. We know how he plays. We know what type of character. You know how he might fit in or not. And you can have that in-depth conversation. But with this young lad, it's very difficult, right? He's played I think someone said he's played 24, 26 first team games in his career. I don't know. How do you judge that? How do any of us sit here and say, yeah, great signing, bad signing? What sort of signing is that? You know, it's very, very difficult. I don't know. You guys don't know. I don't know. So all we can say is good luck to the young lad. And here he is in his Spurs shirt. There he is. So Souza. Good luck. I hope he's brilliant. As always, any player we sign, I really hope they're brilliant. I don't know. People saying, is it? I said Souza the other day, and someone in the chat said no, it's Sosa. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in due course, my friend. So we're going to find out a lot about this guy. And yeah, Jordan, I think you're right. I've seen a compilation, and the problem with the compilation that I saw, it didn't actually show a lot of defending. And I know that everyone wants to see fullbacks flying forward, crossing and scoring and creating, but defending's got to be the main component. You know, I don't know when we lost that. I don't know, guys, tell me if I'm being old. I don't know when this suddenly started becoming the secondary skill set for a fullback, is the defensive part. And that's always what I've said. The likes of Porro, the likes of Adogi. Going forward, I've got no doubt that they can run and they've got engines. Defensively, are they good enough? And again, I don't know. I've not seen this kid play. I've not seen him defend. And you have to ask yourself, how much defensive experience can he have if he's only played like 25, 26 first team games in the Brazilian league, or any league for that matter, any league. So we'll see, won't we? We will see very soon. Yeah. And again, there is that as well, isn't there? There is the injury part of this, that this is a youngster who has missed quite a lot in the last 2 years since the age of 17 with injuries. Now, is that growing pains? Is that something that he's going to have all his career? Is he just naturally good boy? Sorry, the dog got the chew trapped under the desk. I guess we're going to find out, right? I guess we're going to find out. Oh my God, yeah. Hang on. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me change it. I forgot that I was recording something for the professional world. Let me change that. Let me just sorry, that's it. Yes. Yeah, there we go. Back to Savva. Yeah, thanks for that, Martin. I hadn't even realized. You were the only one I think who picked it up as well. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. We'll see. And there's not really a lot I can do. There's not really a lot as a YouTuber that I can sit here and go, right, let's do a whole 2 hours on Sosa. Let's talk about him in depth. We don't know. What I will say is this, is he's a young man that I think needs our support. But what I hope is, either way, if he struggles on his debut, if he has a blinder on his debut, that we don't do what we normally do and either make him out to be the worst player ever or the best player ever after 1 or 5 performances. I hope, you know, we're very good at that. Like every time Archie Gray has a decent game in midfield, people, oh, there you go, he's really good. And then we see 5 in a row where he does nothing. You know, just you know, I want to see consistency from all of these players. So let's let him, you know, give him a bit of time. We'll see how he gets on. Look, it's an interesting one, isn't it, at Tottenham? We are, you know, as I said, let's move to the transfer window. By the way, thank you to Mark, who's sent me a coffee, actually. He's very, very generous. And oh, wow, it's a big coffee as well. He said, sorry to hear you ending the channel. However, totally understand why. Very, very generous, my man. And also Joe, who is... Oh, it's Joe on YouTube, sent one yesterday. So apologies, I didn't see that. I've just seen it. It says, congratulations to you on your decision. I have emailed you something from longer form on email. Mate, I don't have any emails associated to this account, so I don't know where that would have gone. He just said, look, I don't drink coffee or alcohol, but I do consume an exorbitant amount of chocolate. So here's something towards chocolate. Look, thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much, Mark. I really appreciate that, guys. It's very generous indeed. As I said, let me just clarify. I'm seeing already loads of people pretending they know why I'm stopping, making their own narrative. He'll be back. I won't be back on my own channel. I'm not saying I'll never go on anyone else's in the future. Life changes. Things have happened in my life. I want to do different things. So don't let anyone. I saw someone say yesterday, oh, Savva's leaving now that Frank's not doing well. And I'm like, what do you like? I love these people. Honestly, some of these people, I truly don't understand how they even tie their own shoelaces with some of the shit they chat. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And yeah, thank you. I've had lots of nice messages about that. People have messaged me on different formats as well. So thank you very much. So let's talk about it, right? We are 23 days into a transfer window. And so far, we've signed a young left back who we don't even know if he's going to be in the squad. And we've seen a midfielder come in to replace Rodrigo Bentancur, who's gone out injured for the season. Other than that, you do have to look at the club, don't you, and say, well, what are we trying to achieve here? And it's not about mocking the club or not loving the club or not getting behind the club. Just trying to look at it and say, well, what was the aim? What's the aim, right? Like, we all go mad about this manager should be doing this and this player should be doing this. But what's the aim? What does any of it matter if we've got no plan? And Wolfie, what's the last thing I said on my show yesterday? What was it? I said, have a good day. And as always, come on, Braga. I saw they beat you 1-0 and I didn't watch it. You missed a penalty as well, didn't you? Yeah. Well, look, Diamonde's not for sale. They've said he's not for sale this window. And this guy, listen, Diamande he's not going to end up at Spurs. I hate to burst anyone's bubble. He's going to end up at a Bayern Munich or an Arsenal or a Liverpool. He's not going to end up at Tottenham. So everyone can calm themselves down on that. Braga. Braga. Yeah, and there's just the Stream Elements chatbot telling everyone to buy me a coffee. And it's done that because somebody's bought me a coffee. So it does that. So thank you very much. I'll pay you 60 million to take Morgan Gibbs White. How about you just pay me 60 million and I can go and retire on a beach somewhere for the rest of my life? I'll take that, Wolfie. I'll really take that. But yeah, look, it's getting back to the transfer window. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, we are screaming out as a club, aren't we? We are screaming out for forwards. We are screaming out for wingers, strikers, attacking players, whatever position. We're screaming out for it. And I don't see us linked with anyone. I don't like all of the Akliouche kind of noise seems to have died in the last 2 weeks. I haven't seen us linked with anybody. I mean, I'll ask you all in the chat now. Has anyone seen us linked with any forwards? I mean, proper links, not some outlet from, the Amazon has said, that Spurs are buying XYZ. Has anyone seen us linked with anyone? I've not seen it at all. I was talking with my man Ash earlier. It was sort of like, here he is there. Hello. Like we were talking earlier, Ash and I on WhatsApp, and it's kind of like, we just linked with no one. Now, we know that Spurs work in the darkness and we're behind the scenes, but what are we doing? Like, are we even trying to get forwards? There is a whole world of footballers out there. I don't believe there's no one available. I don't believe that, just because you can't get Savio or Fofana, for example, that no one else is available. I don't believe that in any way, shape or form. Every day I'm seeing Ornstein and Romano and Jacobs and all these people say this player's signed for this club and this player's signing for that club. You're thinking, well, these clubs have managed to scout. These clubs have managed to do it. How have we not managed to do it? And it's a bit of a concern, isn't it? Really, it's a bit of a concern. We're linked with Somerville or I don't know. And Somerville, as I said to you guys yesterday, Somerville for me was the one I would have got 2 years ago. I would have got him and developed him 2 years ago. Now I just look and I think, right, I think he's a good player, but it's difficult when you're judging players that are playing for very bad teams. You ask yourself, are they not performing because of the team they're in? Is it because they're just not as good as some people think? All of these different things that you have to think about. But Somerville for me would have been who I would have got rather than going for Odeberg and Tell. And he would have been my backup winger, right? Because I think he was really good when he was young and at Leeds. But again, that's been squashed and said that no, Spurs aren't in for Crescencio Somerville. I've got no doubt if West Ham go down, that Somerville will go to a bigger club. He'll stay in the Premier League. He's too good for the Championship. I've got no doubt about that. Will it be us? I think it's the sort of signing we do, isn't it? It's the sort of signing we do, and it's the sort of signing why, if you do sign that player, you go, okay, he's okay. But again, it's nothing that makes you go, we're serious. I don't understand. I don't understand how we're not going for Akliouche. If I'm honest, I think he's a really good footballer. I don't know why. Monaco are not in a good space at the moment. I've got no doubt he would move to the Premier League and to Tottenham Hotspur. People in the chat right now are talking about Lookman. Just seems like a no-brainer. He's grown as a player in the last 4 or 5 years. His stats are very, very good at top level of football. And in Europe, he's got brilliant stats. He scores goals, he assists. He can play in multiple positions. It seems like a bit of a no-brainer. But I think because we think it's a no-brainer, you have to look and go, well, why are we not doing it? There you go. West Ham have rejected a new formal offer from Flamengo for Lucas Paqueta. Brazilian club have changed the structure, but still not got above the 40 million euros. New bid worth 35 million euros plus 5 million euros. Paqueta still pushing for the move. West Ham want above 45 million euros and to sell in the summer. Talks continue. But again, if I'll ask you this question, right? I'm going to ask you this question. If Flamengo are in talks for attacking players, right? How on earth are we not in talks for attacking players? It's baffling. And I do find it funny at this point because nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. The statements can come out from Vinay. The statements can come out from Lang and Paratici, and they put Frank in front of the camera, and we talk about if anyone becomes available that changes our team. Don't give me that nonsense. This squad is not a squad which can't be improved easily. Like this is not a squad where you go, well, yeah, only really, really top players will improve this. No, this is a very average football squad for me. So can you improve it? Yes, easily. Are we? We'll find out, won't we? It's interesting. There's players everywhere. As we said, there's players everywhere. It's the same 3 or 4 names that get penned about, isn't it? It's Fofana, it's Lookman, it's Savio, right? There's so many. There's so many out there, and it's just tight. I think a lot of that is why I've got kind of bored of the YouTube thing, right? Because I feel like I'll be honest, guys and girls, when as I said, loads of people are making their own mind up why I'm leaving the scene. I think I just got a bit bored of it's the same thing. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's every year we have these conversations. Every year nothing changes. Every year we think it's going to be the year it does change. Then it doesn't. And then we all sit here moaning and arguing with each other about the same thing. I'm watching shows where, everyone's arguing about the same thing. That's what we've been doing for years. We rubbish the idea of signing decent players. We argue about it. We don't buy players. We argue about it. It is. You're right. You're right, Barbaric. You're right. It's a constant loop. Yeah. Yeah. I reckon if I went back to last January's transfer window and played loads of the videos from then, it would be very much the same as what we're saying now. It's okay. What are we doing? What's the plan? Who are we after? And then we sign a Danso. By the way, I think Danso was a decent signing. But we then go and do something in the last few days and people go, oh, there you go. Spurs have been working hard. And, we keep being told, oh, we're working effortlessly. We're working tirelessly behind the scenes. And you're like, are you? Are you really? Because, we really do seem to make a meal of every transfer window. Every transfer window we seem to make a meal of. And this for me is no different. I mean, how long has it taken for us to get a 19-year-old left back over the line? It's ridiculous, isn't it? You know, I don't know. I don't know how much energy I've got left in me to keep talking about it, you know. I don't know. I don't know about you lot. Obviously, clearly you're all on YouTube every day watching shows and that. But I don't know if I've got the energy. You know, I don't know if I've got the energy to, after every defeat, after every win, to go again and have the same rows and the same arguments. And it's, you know, I was out with a few mates last night, and one of them said to me, he said, I don't know how you do it. He's a huge West Ham fan. He said, listen, I love having a chat every now and then about West Ham, but he said, I don't know how you lot and your viewers talk about football all day. And it must be draining. I was like, yeah, it's just caught up with me over the years now. It's caught up with me. And, you know, Spurs have never done anything that's made me go, you know, oh, I've got that energy back. You know, they've never done anything that makes me go, you know, that makes me go, oh, it's different. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm invested heavily again. I just feel like if I look, when I first started YouTube about 5 years ago, so I don't know, don't even know. The time flies so quickly. The things we were saying then is exactly what we're saying now. It's exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. And again, it doesn't matter. We can argue all day long about the managers direct. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. We're still all having the conversation with how bad Spurs are in transfer windows. So if I was to ask you all right now, out of 10, over the last 10 years, what would you say out of 10? How good are we in transfer markets? As an average score, I would say we're a 5. I would say that we're really poor at getting rid of players. And I would say we've had some success in buying players, but nowhere near enough. And I think when you average that all out, for me, it's just a 5. And that is why you have seen over the last 10 years that Spurs haven't got better. The Spurs aren't growing as a club. And by growing, I don't mean the size. Stanley. You know, I don't mean the size of the club and the stadium. I mean in terms of just what we're viewed as. And I always think it's a really interesting way to gauge your team by seeing what others say. Now, I don't mean just the idiots that go, oh, you're Spurs. Great. I mean, if you actually have sensible conversations, when people are talking about you in a good manner, you know you're doing something right. So the last 3-4 years, look how people have talked about Newcastle, right? Everyone used to mock Newcastle year after year after year. They were a mess under Mike Ashley, weren't they? Everyone mocked them. They were a joke. Now it's like they're not. Now it's like, okay, yeah, you're a good club. You're a good team. Nothing amazing, but you're a good team. Aston Villa the same. Up and down, bit of a mess. Now everyone's like, yeah, look, solid football club. With Spurs, you ask any set of fans, and I don't mean the trolls on the internet. Ask any of your close mates who don't support Spurs but love football. Just say, look, give me an honest assessment of Tottenham in one sentence as a club. Not this season. Give me an honest assessment of Spurs. And I did this the other day with my mates. And my mates just said, yeah, just nothing. Like, just nothing. And one of my mates said to me, even it's like you won the European trophy, but it's still all a mess. Like, it hasn't spurred you on to bigger and better. It's not, you know, it doesn't make you go out in transfer windows and act. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And for me, I think that's just where my energy over the years has kind of sapped. Everyone thinks they're right about every subject. Of course we do, right? We all think we're right about every subject. What does it matter? We will argue about this manager. When the next manager comes in, we'll argue about that manager. We'll argue about transfer windows. I'm constantly hearing that this manager's a yes man. That one's a yes man. Again, silly. Every manager is a yes man. It's how they keep their jobs, right? Every manager is a yes man. Managers that call out their owners end up being sacked, right? It's just the way it is. So we will complain about this manager, we'll complain about this players, we'll complain about the medical team or the director of football. We'll be sitting here in 2-3 years, and unless something drastically changed, like new owners, we're going to be sitting here saying the same things again, aren't we? And people don't like that. They don't want their club to be talked about in that way, but it's not changed. And I do feel like you get to the point where you have to say to yourself, oh my God, David Ornstein has posted, this can't be real. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. If this is real. Wow. So Tottenham are in talks to buy Andy Robertson. So we're going to go for another fullback. This is brilliant. Let's bring this up. Breaking news. Hang on. Let me quickly change the title of my show as well. This is ridiculous. Let me change it. So, welcome Spurs. And okay, right. This is a left field one for me. This is a really left field one for me. Excuse me, Tottenham Hotspur are working on a deal to sign Andy Robertson from Liverpool. Tottenham Hotspur brought forward a plan. Not done, but talks between all parties advancing in a bid to reach agreement. Sure. I don't know how I feel about this. Good addition, solid pro, good left back who's much better than Destiny Udogie. But again, I'm a bit lost for words. What's your initial feelings? I'm just all a bit. Oh, okay. Right. So let's read this through properly. Sorry, I'm really shocked by this. So exclusive, Tottenham Hotspur working on a deal to sign Andy Robertson from Liverpool. Tottenham Hotspur brought forward a plan to buy. I don't know, to vie for 31-year-old left back as free agent this summer. Not done, but talks between all parties advancing in bid to reach agreement. Okay. Andy Robertson. Now, let's talk about this. Now, Andy Robertson, this is interesting. Yeah, I knew someone would put that in, another cheap signing. I think look on the sorry, I'm really shocked by this. I wasn't expecting to be having this conversation. Look, from a left back point of view, from a left back point of view, really good, right? From a left back point of view, that's really good. Solid. For me, he's better than Destiny Udogie. He's a winner. He's experienced. He's at a good age. Well, you know, to get some experience, he's a captain. He's a leader. Nothing wrong with that. As a squad player, what does he? What's the plan? What's the plan with that? Is it to play Andy Robertson and then have Udogie learn from Andy Robertson? I don't know. I don't know. I'm really not sure what to say about this in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Ash. It's going to be that, isn't it? It's going to be. But again, so you see what we've done again. Player gets injured. We're replacing. We're not actually adding. We're not adding in the forward areas. It's random. It's random. I don't know what to say because Andy Robertson for years was a top left back. Is he the same player? Now, there's a number of things when you look at this. Is he the same player, but he's just out of favour and out of form? Or has he passed it? Now, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe he comes to Spurs and he gets a new lease of life. But what we do know is this is an actual proper left back, right? This isn't a left wing back. This isn't a left winger pretending to be a left back. This isn't a right back pretending to be a left back. This is a proper left back. Now, I wonder how much they're going to pay, because if I'm not wrong, didn't that say, left back as free agent in the summer? So I'm guessing the fee will be absolutely minimal on that one. I don't know if anyone, maybe 10 million, 5 million, 10. No, let me know in the chat. What do you reckon the fee will be? I'm a bit lost for words, to be honest. I'm a bit lost for words. It feels to me that it's good squad depth. It adds good cover. I say that I'd start him over Udogie, but again, you ask yourself, is this what we need? I don't know, guys. How are you feeling about this? Talk to me. And as always, you're going to get some that love it, some that hate it, and some that are in the middle. Where are you all at with this signing? I think it makes sense from a Ben Davies going out injured for the rest of the season point of view. He's going to offer experience if he comes in and plays in the Champions League, right? He'll offer experience. He's won titles. He's won Champions Leagues. Interesting. I really, really wasn't expecting to be having this conversation. Andy Robertson, let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. So this would suggest as well. So the day after we buy Sosa, would this suggest that he's going out on loan? Would this suggest that he's now going out on loan? And Robertson will, obviously, you can't have Robertson, Udogie, and Sosa in a matchday squad, can you? You're not going to have all three. I don't dislike Andy Robertson. I'm just baffled as to, again, what are we doing? I don't know the plan. So my best guess, hearing this, and again, this is just me hearing it at the same time as you lot, right? This is just me hearing it at the same time as you lot. My first thoughts, they might change as we go on, is that Sosa will go out on loan and Robertson and Udogie will be used as and when to keep it fresh. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting. I am going to ask the obvious. Again, nothing against Andy Robertson, but do we have any plans on buying any wingers or forwards? Do we have any plans at all for any wingers or any forwards? Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's a solid signing, right? I think if Spurs can get it over the line, I think it's a solid signing. I think that it does what it says on the tin. You know what you're getting. Again, as I said earlier, with the Sosa deal, we don't know what we're getting. If Andy Robertson comes in, you know what you're getting, right? You're getting a seasoned pro. He's a winner. He's an athlete. He's a captain. He's been in and around quality teams for years now at Liverpool. It means that Jed Spence can be right back or left wing, or is that the plan now? We're not going to buy a left winger. We're just going to play Jed Spence there. It's another one where I'm just like, okay, all right, okay, all right, Spurs. You know, when I said earlier, I've just drained from it all, and I'm not sure I've got the energy. It's mad. We'll have a look. Let's have a little look at him, shall we? On let's go to his Wikipedia page to start. Let's have a look. Andy Robertson. I'll bring it up for you all. Don't worry. So Andy Robertson, we know he is 31 years of age. He's 32 in March. So he's 32 in a couple of months, the 11th of March. Let's have a look, shall we? Never change, Spurs. Never change. So, here we go. Can everyone read that? Is that a bit small? Should we make that a tiny bit bigger? Is that bigger? Is that better? Yeah, okay. So what do we know about Andy Robertson that we didn't already know? Left back, plays for Liverpool, and he captains the Scotland national team. So you're bringing in a leader, a winner, and a captain, right? Let's see here. Let's go down to his club career statistics. Oh, hang on, there's a lot there. Let's go down to his career statistics. So what do we know about, obviously we know he was from Hull. We know he played 115 games for them. And then if we have a look at this, look, Liverpool. He's been at Liverpool for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his 9th season at Liverpool. He's made 363 appearances for them as left back. And we know that, look, 565 games in his career. So we know we're bringing in experience. So at left back, we would have brought in somebody with 25 games in their career and then 565 games in their career. So one for the immediate, one for the future. And then it begs the question about Udogie. What are we going to do with all three of them? Just asking. Now, when we scroll down and have a look at him, look, 90 caps for Scotland. So, look, this is a seasoned pro, isn't it? And then, look, I think this is the interesting thing, right? When we look at this, you know, he's got 2 Premier League titles, 1 FA Cup, 2 EFL Cups, a Community Shield, a Champions, 1 Champions League and 2 runners-up, UEFA Super Cup, World Club Cup, Scotland Young Player of the Year, Scotland Team of the Year, PFA Team of the Year in the Premier League twice, UEFA Champions League Squad of the Year, UEFA Team of the Year, UEFA Champions League Team of the Season. So you are getting a very, very solid, experienced Premier League footballer. I've got no problem with it at all. Right. So Florian Plettenberg has said something as well. So it's pretty much the same, but let's bring that up. I love it when I'm live and something comes out, breaking news. It wasn't what I was expecting in any way, shape or form from Tottenham. So this is what Plettenberg has said about it. So Plettenberg has said, there you go. So Tottenham Hotspur are now pushing to sign Andy Robertson with immediate effect after the Athletic have reported it with Ornstein. Understand a verbal agreement is done. So clubs are now in negotiations. So obviously, the verbal agreement, again, for anyone who doesn't understand how transfers work, the verbal agreement will be in place between the player and the club, or the agent and the player and Tottenham. And now Tottenham need to reach an agreement with Liverpool. So again, for anyone who doesn't understand how transfers work, it's that way round. It's not the other way round. You don't agree with the club first. Interesting. Really, really interesting. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's not a bad deal, is it? It's not one of those where you sit here and go, God, this is awful. It's for January. It's for now with immediate effect. Yeah, it's for now. So for me, that really does help. It really does. I've got nothing. Listen, I've got nothing against this signing. If fully committed, wants a fresh challenge. Obviously, Liverpool are mixing things up and changing. He's out of favour at Liverpool. No, Alfie, it'll be the Ben Davis, wouldn't it? It'd be the Ben Davis injury. I think, yeah, sorry, as you said at the end there. Experience, really happy with that from a leadership point of view and from experience. And he's an actual left back. I don't think Udogie is an actual left back. Spence is not a left back. This guy's an actual left back. So this is interesting. I have no problem with this as a sign. I am just going to say the same thing though. Let's see what this person said. Anything new? No, Tom Bartley. I'm just going to say the same thing I said. I've got no problem with this. But what is happening at the other end of the pitch? Like, are we going to do anything at the other end of the pitch? We've just brought in 2 left backs. We'll see. Yeah, I agree, Paul. Yeah, I think that's the way I would say it. I don't think this is one where you go, oh my God, amazing, or this is terrible. I think it's a solid, sensible signing. You're absolutely spot on. Solid, sensible signing. I think we'll do really well. Look, possibly. Possibly, yeah. I think it gives you options. I've got nothing against this. Yeah, I've got nothing against this. I guess for me, my frustration isn't anywhere near that deal. My frustration is at the other end of the pitch. What are we doing? As a left back, no problems with that. Look, you know, we talk about buying Premier League proven. This has been one of the best left backs in the Premier League for the last 9 years. So this is not this is by no means a bad signing. I know people will lose their mind over it. It's as I said, it's the culture of online, of YouTube. I'm already being sent screenshots by people of people on X losing their mind. I don't think it's losing their mind. See, I don't think it's lazy. I don't think that's lazy recruitment. If Ben Davies has gone down injured and you've got to replace, I've got no problem with that. If you can get a couple of good years from the captain of Scotland, I don't think that's lazy recruitment. I think that's opportunistic. I've got nothing against opportunistic signings, nothing against it. But the question is going to be, right? The question is going to be, what happens now? How much game time is he going to get? And I'm guessing they must have promised him some game time, right? For him to have verbally agreed with the club. They must have promised him and agreed. I agree with this. Both Gallagher and Robertson have good mentality and leadership. Absolutely. We've said for ages, there's no men in this team. There's no leadership. People that have been there, seen it and done it. Now, these two definitely bring that. They definitely bring that. Let's see if there's any let's see if there's anyone out there that wants to jump on. Hang on. Let's just see. Yeah, these two definitely provide that, don't they? They definitely provide that. And I get it, right? I get it. I do. I do get it. I know people are losing their mind. I mean, look, Robertson signing for Spurs shows exactly what's wrong with our recruitment team at Forest, mate. Edu, the bloke who lost a centre forward, leave him alone. We're bringing in. I don't have. I feel like what we're doing at Spurs, I think we're conflating two issues here. So if we look at, is the Andy Robertson signing a good one? Yeah, I think it is. On this hand, what are we doing forward? I think they're two different subjects, right? I think they're two different subjects. I don't know. I'm not sure. One second. I'm just sending the link to a few people. It's two different subjects, completely two different subjects. But what it does demonstrate yet again, people, what it really does demonstrate is that Spurs really do work in the dark, don't they? Like, I haven't seen anyone mention this at all. No one has talked about this. No one has talked about this at all, have they? I haven't seen no one's called for it. We haven't seen it. This is the first we've heard of it from Ornstein. It's a bit like the whole Morgan Gibbs-White thing. Now, if Tottenham can add in Conor Gallagher, Andy Robertson, and now go and get a good winger, a good forward, not a bad window. A good window. Not an amazing window, but a good window. One where we've brought in a couple of leaders. But yes, Jordan, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So many of these sites that say they're doing this, they're doing that. No, I haven't seen Andy Robert. That name wasn't on my radar. I don't think I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I just assumed, oh, right, okay, Sosa is the left back signing now to compete with Udogie. And then you go completely to the other end and go, right, Andy Robertson. And now for me, Andy Robertson is much better than Destiny Udogie. For me. Now, that's for me. Doesn't mean all you lot have to agree, but that's for me. I'm just going to do a little bit of research here. Interesting. One second. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. We need players at that age. I think we need players of that experience. But I get what people are going to say. It just doesn't solve the immediate issue. But it does bring in much needed leadership. And I agree with this. This is a very interesting talking point. Shows how much Thomas Frank thinks there is a mentality problem at this club. Yeah, I think Connor and Robbo will definitely, will identify the bad eggs in the team and help Frank weed them out. Well, look, one thing we said for ages is there isn't leaders in this squad. I don't even think Romero's a leader. And those two are leaders. Now, if that was exactly what we needed, but I again, it will beg the question, and all I'm doing is asking questions. I think it will beg the question, would we have made those two signings if Davis and Bentancur weren't ruled out for the season? It's just a thought. I don't know. I'm not complaining. He will give us options. He will give leadership. He's an actual left back. He's been there, seen it, done it. He's a winner. But I'll say the same thing I said before the show. Nothing about Robertson, but what next? Where are the forward areas? Where are the forward areas? We all went into this window, didn't we, going, a left winger is an absolute must. And at the moment, we've been linked with everything. We've been linked with goalkeepers, centre-backs, left-backs, centre-mid. We've been linked with everything but a left winger. Now, what does that tell you? Does it tell you that none of us know what we're on about? Maybe. Maybe we're all idiots. Maybe none of us know what we're on about. But Frank himself has talked about the need for a left winger. Does this mean Robertson goes left back and maybe a Dogie gets pushed up? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking questions, right? That's all I'm doing. I know I'm just asking questions. Maybe, just maybe, Jed Spence is going to be left at left wing. Maybe he's going to be left there. I don't know. For me, I think that they're upgrades. They are upgrades, right? So you think Robertson is much better than Ben Davies. Conor Gallagher is much better than Bentancur. So they are upgrades without a shadow of a doubt. And Spurs, I can't knock that. They've moved quick to replace them. I've got no problem with that. But can we now go out and be a bit more proactive? Is what I was trying to say the other day. Don't know what show I was on. Probably mine, but can we now go and be proactive with other positions that we need where we don't have injuries, but we just need players? That's going to be the big question that we're going to ask. James Pearce has said, James Pearce has said, Tottenham are going to do sign Robertson. Yeah, negotiations are advancing for the Reds vice captain, who is out of contract this summer. Yeah, so we know. So, I'm guessing, like the rest of you, I wasn't expecting this in any way, shape, or form. I wasn't expecting this morning, especially like the show was about Sosa, who is a left back, and then the very next morning after signing that, it's, hey, here's another left back. So for me, I think this answers the question of, will Sosa go out on loan? I think that answers that question. And Ash, I completely agree. I completely agree. I don't think anyone should moan about this signing. I'm already getting messages from people who are not happy. I'm already getting messages and people are not happy. For me, it's look, this is a short-term fix though. Let's add that into the equation. This is not someone who's 23 and is going to give you another 7-8 years. This is someone who's going to be 32 and will probably give you 2 more years, maybe. Of course it is. Oh, Ash, of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. No, it looks like he's coming in now. All of the reports are saying it's immediate. It's like right now. Again, I've only read what you lot have read. I've only read what you lot have read. So look, for me, no problem with the signing as a standalone signing. And again, as I said, it's misdirection for me. You know, it's okay to say, yeah, that's good, but can we please over here go and do some stuff? Now, what I will say is this: 5 million. Anyone in the chat? How much do you reckon it's going to cost? 5 million? 10 max? I don't know. How much are you paying for a player who's out of contract in the summer at the age of 31? 5 million? We'll see, right? I'll tell you what, I'll round it off and just say 10. Let's just say for the moment, 10 million. All right. I don't know. I have no idea. None of the reports are saying anything at the moment. 10 million. Cool. All right. So 10 million on him. It will be 12 million on Sosa and 35 million on Conor Gallagher. So if I work that out properly in my head, that's 45, that's 57 million pounds spent, if I'm not wrong. Right? Now, you've received 35 for Brennan Johnson. I think they're trying to get the deal done, aren't they? For, was it 10 million euros for Valise? I've got a feeling as well that Radu Dragashin is going to leave the club in this window. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I think that he will leave as well. And when you look at it like that, we've not really spent anything, have we? When you look at it, the most we've spent so far, if Robertson comes in at 10 million, will be 22 million pounds, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong, 35 million Gallagher, 12 million for Sosa. Let's just say 10 for Robertson at the moment. So it's 57 million pounds. We know we've definitely got 35 million back for Brennan Johnson. Yeah, I think Radu Dragashin will leave. And I think that will leave the left backs as a Dogie and Robertson, the centre halves as Van der Ven, Romero, Danso, and then possibly Byfield. And then the right backs will be Porro and Spence, and then possibly Byfield, right? So Byfield can start getting minutes in those areas. Again, it will be a Spurs window, won't it? Some nice stuff, but nowhere near enough, and nothing that makes you go, oh. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing all the time. I think, as I said, if they can just sprinkle that bit of stardust in the forward areas now. If you turn around and said to me, Gallagher's coming in, Robertson's coming in, good. Now here's a bit of stardust on the wing. Here's a goal scorer. Here's someone that gets loads of GA. Here's goals. Here's assists. Here's forward threat. Here's attacking threat. I think when you see that, you would go, okay, that's good. That's a good January window. Now, note, two of those things haven't happened yet. Right? Two of those things haven't happened yet. So we have not secured Robertson, but I shouldn't think it will be a difficult deal to get done. If Spurs and Arsenal, if Spurs and Liverpool are actually talking and he's agreed with a club, it means he wants to leave. And if Liverpool are at the table, it means they're happy for him to leave. So I think this will be an easy one to get done. But it's, can they get that forward area sorted after this? Yeah. Now, Robertson for me, I've always liked Robertson as a player. I can't lie. I've always been really impressed with how, you know, as a youngster, he came from Hull. You know, imagine someone signed someone called Andy Robertson now from Hull. Everyone would lose their mind, but great scouting from Liverpool, right? Superb scouting from Liverpool. And he's given them, what did I say? Was it over 363 appearances, winning. How many major honours was that I said he'd won? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Six, well, 7 of the Super Cup, 8 with the World, 8 major honours at Liverpool in 9 years. I can't complain about it. I can't complain about that. I can't. Wasn't expecting it, but it was said. Oh, well, I said, I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I said, all well and good bringing in Sosa as a kid, but for me, I think, oh, he's seen you. You nearly, all well and good bringing in Sosa as a kid, but my issue at the time was, doesn't Udogie still need someone to learn and develop from? And I don't think fans will think about it from that point of view either. I think that he will learn and develop. And I think this is right, Jags. I think this is well put. Good squad building, yeah. Upgrading the mentality within the dressing room, yeah. Yes, we're netting out in terms of spend, but you have to hope they'll splash the cash on 1 or 2 signings. Well, do you know what? I can't disagree with anything you've said there, my man. I don't disagree with any of that. Yes, for squad building. Yes, for the mentality, right? But now you've got to hope they go and say, right, okay, we've got those deals done. Right, we've got, 10 days left, 9 days left of the window to turn around and say, to turn around and say, right, let's all go all out. Let's go all out, shall we? Let's go all out. But we'll see. We'll see, won't we? This is Tottenham. You never, ever know. You never, ever know. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to ping this through. 1 second, people. One second. Keep getting your comments in of whether you like him. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I wasn't actually going to go live this morning. And then it's turned out to be a good day because we go live and Spurs are in talks with Andy Robertson. Now, it's worth noting as well, if you are the vice captain of Liverpool, bearing in mind, Liverpool are the current Premier League champions. They're the current champions, right? Now, I'll tell you what, again, a really good point. I love this. We seem to have got rid of all the trolls lately. I think the trolls have got bored because they know I'm leaving. I think they've got bored, so we're getting good conversation. Yeah, Robertson also makes us more attractive for potential incomings. Well, all I've heard, Jordan, is that who wants to come and play for Thomas Frank? Well, Paulinho, Xavi Simons, Kudus, Mawani, Gallagher, Robertson, and I think that you're right. And I think that if this is what you meant, sorry if I'm putting words in your mouth here, I think that other professionals will look around and go, hang on, yeah, look, they just signed Conor Gallagher. It's a good deal. Signed Andy Robertson, Premier League winner, Champions League winner, captain of Scotland. Maybe. I agreed. Again, agreed, Andy. This is the sort of thing a Harry Redknapp would do. I just do. See, Pete, loads of people messaging me. They hate it. Wow, I'm amazed. Hang on, cheap winner, leader, experienced, and Udogie's always injured. Yeah, I don't see the issue with this. I don't see the issue with this. Again, what we're doing, I think we're deflecting one issue onto something else. And Spurs can shut us all up by going and buying that winger, going and buying that forward. Saying his legs have gone? We'll see. I hear this all the time. And then players go somewhere else and they get a reprieve. They get their energy back. They get their, they get their love for playing football back, don't they? So, see, I think he's better than Udogie. I think he's a better player than Udogie for me. But we'll see. Yeah. Big up, Dan. How you doing, man? I said, I'm fine with sensible. Just expand that across the whole pitch. Do it with an attacker. Absolutely. I think most people, I think we're all aligned, right? I think most people are aligned with good signing, gives you options, but where's the forwards? Right? People are telling me to look at Ben Jacobs. I don't know why we're looking at Ben Jacobs. Let's see. Let's have a look. Is this anything? Here we go. Let's have a look. By the way, the deal isn't done, right? Like, we're talking as though he's actually signed. You know, he hasn't. Let's have a look. So Ben Jacobs has said Tottenham are in talks with left back Andy Robertson, as David Ornstein called it, following Ben Davies's ankle fracture. So we knew that. Robertson was a summer target for Spurs as a free agent, but discussions are now framed around the winter move. Liverpool sources insist discussions are preliminary with no outcome reached. Liverpool appreciative of Robertson's professionalism and service to the club, which is why they have allowed initial engagement over a transfer. So look, it's not done. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I feel like we will lose our minds as a collective. We will as a collective. But I think it's a solid signing. It's a solid signing. Listen, what we can't do is rely on Udogie. We can't rely on him. First of all, his performances are up and down. Second of all, how many games does this boy miss through injury? I don't know. Again, great CV, isn't he? He's got a great CV. Agreed. We're doing what we did with Gallagher. Look, I've got no problem with it. But we need more. We need more. We need forwards. And I think the thing is, I think people are at the stage now where I think we lose our minds at everything. I don't think this is a situation to lose your mind at. It is what it is. It's a sensible signing. Look, Ben Davies, I think, will go in the summer. Right? I think Ben Davies will go in the summer. All these reports are saying that we wanted him as a free transfer anyway. So we've just expedited what we need. Now, some people are going to have issue with his age. It's mad, isn't it? You know, like when I'm at my age and I go, oh, 31, he's old. It's like, in football terms, he is. His legs haven't gone. He just isn't. Listen, Pete, I'll tell you one thing for me, mate. And I've seen your WhatsApp, so I'll come back to you in a minute after as well. I think one thing that we always do this as fans, we go, anyone who watches him knows his legs have gone. Well, maybe he's annoyed because he's fallen down the pecking order at Liverpool. Maybe he needs something new. Maybe he needs some reinvigoration. You see it loads, don't you? Players don't do well. They go somewhere else and they get that zest back for life. I heard Jack Grealish's legs had gone up until his injury, which has ruled him out for the rest of the season, I think. He's been brilliant for Everton, but his legs have gone. Yeah. Well, I hear this all the time. Look, Power Popper, love that, has said, Savva, honestly, don't get a lot of people who are turning their noses up at this. Adds experience, mentorship to Souza and Udogie. Yeah, we need a lot more, but this is a good signing. I agree. Let's get rid of that troll. Well, we done well. We got an hour and 8 minutes in with no trolls. I think that might be a new record. So the Anfield TV have done a vote, and it says 56% of the vote. I don't know how many people voted. Think that he should stay. 23% are saying cash in or Robertson, and 13% say it's already decided, and 9% is saying if the fee is right. I guess with any signing, you're going to get that within a fan base, right? With any signing, you're going to have ups and downs. But I'm really happy at it from a leadership point of view, ladies and gentlemen. I am. I want experience. I think we need experience. Even if he's here for 2 years and he offers experience to Udogie, to Sosa, right? At the moment, these people aren't learning from anyone. These people, they're not learning from any senior pro, are they? They're not learning. You know, Odegaard, Tell, they're not learning from a senior winger out on that left-hand side. They're not learning. Adogi and Sosa aren't learning from a senior left-back. So, for me, I've got no problem with this. Doesn't mean, oh my God, I think the window's amazing and we don't need to do more. No, see, he's not the Scot. See, that for me is crazy. That's a crazy take. He is levels above Ben Davies at everything. Come on. But it's not, it's not. They're saying that Spurs have got him on the radar for the summer anyway. So it's not a reactionary signing. What they're doing is they're expediting because of Ben Davies, right? They're expediting the signing. This is what I mean already. You can see, I don't get it from some people. I don't understand, if I'm honest. But I've got no problem with it. I've got no problem with it. He's an experienced pro that can offer advice. He can leadership, winning mentality, been there, seen it, done it. He's the captain of Scotland. He's the captain of Scotland. Agreed. A good, experienced role model. I don't think enough people take those aspects. I think a lot of people just go, don't like this player. But as I said with Gallagher, experienced leader, played for top clubs, been there, seen it, done it. You need those. Doesn't mean you don't need to sprinkle stardust. Doesn't mean that at all. Exactly, it does. It now adds people into the mix that will be a different voice. A different voice, different leadership, changes it up. Can't keep having Vicario as the leadership when he's constantly playing that bad. Agreed. Yeah, I've got no problem. I've got no problem with it. I've got no problem with it. I'm sure there's going to be a million YouTube channels that are going to blow this out of all proportion. I'm sure there are people who are going to lose their mind. But if you take a step back and look at it through calm lenses, it does what we need. It does what we need. See, again, unfortunately, this is what the internet's allowed people to do. The internet has allowed children to say silly things. Anyone who uses the word trash when talking about Conor Gallagher, it's just ridiculous. Pochettino, right? Emery and Diego Simeone can't all want you if you're trash. Like it's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's silly. Yeah, it's silly. The problem is, as I said, everyone's trying to be a tactical expert. I don't think this needs deep thinking. Spurs don't really have a lot in the left back area. Adogi is injury prone. Ben Davies is out for the season. I don't think this needs deep tactical analysis, does it? Maybe it does. Maybe it does need tactical analysis, but I don't think so. I think sometimes you can, again, with Conor Gallagher, everyone went so deep. Everyone went so deep with where will he play his just sometimes you just got to add good footballers. Sometimes you just got to add players. Sometimes you've just got to give good players in your team. It's nothing wrong with this. Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people are saying now, yeah, he's a winner. He's a winner. And again, it doesn't have to be for the next 10 years. For all we know, maybe Adogi might be going in the summer. I don't know. But listen, again, if Thomas Frank thinks that this is the guy he needs to build a squad, I've got no problem with that. Maybe. So no, it's a problem, Savva. No, it's not. Look at what we signed. This is just a cycle. We don't sign quality. We need a left winger. Right. Okay. But this is nothing to do with the left winger position. I agree with you that we need a left winger, but this is nothing to do with the left winger position. This is a serial winner, mate. This is someone who just won the Premier League playing left back for Liverpool 6 months ago. Agreed. We need the forwards. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that at all. Again, this is what I mean. Take a step back and think. Right now, Ben Davies is out for the season, and the only left back we have is Udogie, who is injury prone. And I'm guessing Sosa's going out on loan, right? We do need this position fit. We all said we need left back as well. We need doesn't mean we don't need forwards. But this is a cheap one. This surely won't take hang on. Somebody who said he's injury prone as well. No, he's not. Somebody just sent me his injury record at Liverpool. No, he's not injury prone. He's had one season where he was out for a long period. One season. So again, when people say these things, it's just crazy. Again, I just think people now want to lose their mind over nothing. I think people are now wanting to lose their mind over nothing. Take a step back. I don't know if everyone realised, right? I don't know if everyone realised, but Ben Davies is out for the season. We need options. And this is the problem, right? We're not happy with anything at the moment. And I've just been sent that Andy Robertson's the first Scottish captain. Here we go. 1 second. He's the first Scottish captain to take Scotland to 3 different competitions in a row. There you go. So I don't know. I do think, as I said, I think this is one of the reasons as well. When I say I'm coming away from YouTube, I just think everything's very, very reactionary. Very, very reactionary. I don't see what's wrong with it. I don't see what's wrong with it at all. Listen, is he the world-class superstar we need? No. Are Spurs going to sign world-class players? No. Is it a sensible, solid signing we need because we're short at left back? Yes. You know, you can't, you know, we can't turn around and say we want experience. And then when we get it, we complain about it. Yeah, Arsenal was solid in midfield. Yeah. Arsenal have got the best midfield options in the country. Yeah. It is what it is. All those people telling me this signing was crap, that signing, Madueke was crap, signing Norgard was crap, signing Nkappi was crap. They're flying, aren't they? What Robertson is also very good at is crossing and cross a wonderful football. And agreed, exactly as I've been saying. If he went to Villa, see, I remember this is the sort of noise that when Digne went to Villa, people go, "Oh, Digne's no good." Been a good, solid signing for them. Now they got Maatsen and Digne, right? So good, solid signing. I've got no problem with it. I've got no problem with it. It's no, this isn't a statement. Stop. Oh, you're doing it again. This isn't a statement sign. It's a good signing. A statement signing isn't a 31-year-old left back. Stop. This isn't a statement signing. Stop this, please. There you go. Maybe your dad knew something. Maybe your dad. Yeah. So I did just see. I saw your WhatsApp. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Captain, a voice, an organizer. I genuinely don't know. I don't know how Spurs. We get so caught up in our feelings that people can't decompartmentalize. Left back, good signing. Doesn't take away that we need in that area. Now, if they don't go and buy that, I'm annoyed, but not annoyed that they got Robertson, because this is going to be a really cheap deal. This is going to be a very cheap deal. I'm not bothered by this. If they were, look, all of these reporters are saying that Spurs were going to buy him anyway in the window for free. So we just expedited that. Digne, 32 years old. What? Look, as I said, I'm not going to be getting involved with shows with other people that I'm guessing right now videos are being made about how bad this signing is and everyone's going to lose their mind. But this isn't how it works. But Phil, again, read your sentence. Read your sentence. It shouldn't be about either or. It should be about both. It should be about both. The forward players should be coming in regardless of if this deal is done. This is where fans really have got to strap in, take a step back and realise how football clubs are built. Yeah? Ben Davies is out for the season. Ben Davies is out for the season. We need a left back. We need a left back, mate. You've got to, I've got no problem with this as a signing. When you're saying the wrong way round, this isn't a computer game. You don't pick and choose, right? If the opportunity presents itself, there's only about 10 days of the window to go. It's only about 10 days to go. He's a really experienced left back. Not a world beater, but you know what you're getting from him. Thought it was a good signing when Villa signed him. And it's proven to be that way. Now you've got Matson, who's getting more and more game time. Looks a really good signing as well. Look, as I said, I also think that people like Romero, like Van der Ven, like Conor Gallagher, they're going to look at signs like this and go, yeah, that's a good signing. Yeah. We are too emotional. We are too emotional. We are, everyone, like, no, you don't feel, when you're saying priorities, this deal has got nothing to do with the other deals. This deal's got nothing to do with the other deals. Again, you're not understanding how football transfers work. If the deal is there to be done with Andy Robertson, I'm guessing this is not going to take long because the only thing they've got to agree on now is the fee. All right? Again, Phil, this isn't a computer game, mate. This isn't a computer game. Get both. For me, at the end of the window, I won't be annoyed, oh my God, we bought Robertson instead of a winger. I'll be saying, why didn't we get Robertson and a winger? Right? Why didn't we get Gallagher, Robertson and a winger? Got to do all of it. And this is the thing. This is where if Spurs are going to show they're different, cool. Get the centre mid in, get the left back, get the winger, get it all done. Show us that it's different. Show us that it's different. What forward will we bring in? What winger will we? I don't know. But as we've seen today, these deals are coming out of nowhere. The Gallagher deal came out of nowhere. This Robertson conversation has come out of nowhere. And you've got to remember, Phil, the price for the winger we buy is going to be bigger than what we're about to pay for this guy who's out of contract in the summer. It's going to be a different deal. And agreed, Carl, this is the problem. I think that the squad is I think it's been put together so badly that everywhere is a priority. I agree. But I really want to stop with the either or. I know Spurs have conditioned this into us that it's either or. It shouldn't be. Get it all done. Yeah, but Sam, if we're going to buy a left winger or not, it's got nothing to do with this deal. That's the point, mate. Isn't it? This deal is not going to affect if we can bring in a forward or not. If they can, they can. If they can't, they can't. This deal's not, they're not going to go, oh, we spent 10 million on Andy Robertson. Oh, we can't. Absolutely, Yash. Absolutely. Our left side massively lacks balance. If Adogi gets injured, we have Souza who is left-footed and he isn't going to be ready, is he? Absolutely. I just don't, I don't understand. I don't understand. And please, let's hope this isn't true. Please don't. But we want to act like a big club. We want to build a squad. When we start doing it, everyone cries. To me, it's just madness. So take a step back. I know it's difficult to do, right? But take a step back, remove your emotion, see that it's sensible. Ben Jacobs has gone on as well to say, also important to note that Liverpool and Robertson have a tremendous relationship. Any winter departure will only be sanctioned if deemed by all parties to be in the best interest of both player and club. Robertson not only thinking about his future, but Liverpool Football Club. So look, there's nothing saying it definitely happens. Yeah, agreed. And I think that's where I've tried to get to more and more as I've been doing this more and more. I'm guessing, honestly, in a minute, I'll have a look and just, you know, I'm going to see what people are making videos about for. I think everyone's been saying we need a left back. And then we buy a left back or try and buy a left back and people aren't happy with it. It's mad. It's utter madness. I've got no problem with it. As I said, no problem from my ends. Now go and get a forward. That's what I would say. Absolutely, Andy. I agree with you. Yeah, it would be conditioned to have one or the other. So you can't. No. But what I can blame people, Andy, is that the two don't affect each other. Buying Andy Robertson for whatever 10 million, 5 million, whatever the deal is, doesn't affect Tottenham bringing in a left winger. Look at this. Johnny. Hello, mate.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm okay. Yeah. Interesting show this morning. If you haven't seen it, Savva, you should go and watch it later after. Really insightful. We had a guy come on who's worked with Tottenham for the last 20 odd years, 10, 15 years. Been in sports medicine, fitness, and all the rest of it. And he's worked on most of the projects, Hotspur Way, and really insightful insight into the fitness, red zones, previous managers, how the club is changed. It's taken me a long time to get him on. We were sort of approaching him back in July, but obviously conflict of interest, didn't want to jeopardise his job and his working relationship. So it's sort of working the line. I suppose all your chat is about Andy Robinson, right?
Well, yeah. Just quickly, where people can watch that after on Football Link.
Football Link. Yeah, Football Link.
Wicked. All right. Well, I have to get over there and watch that. I mean,
you'll definitely enjoy it, mate. You'll definitely.
No, I'll give. Is it Gary? Was it the guy called Gary?
Gary. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Look, Johnny, this is an interesting one, right? I really wasn't expecting this morning to be talking about Andy Robertson, like in any way, shape, or form.
Correct.
Sensible signing. Apparently, Ornstein and everyone is saying that we were going to get him on a free anyway in the summer.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've expedited that with Ben Davies going out. Leader, captain, Adogi's injury prone. Good, solid signing or not?
Where are you? Left wing until we sign someone in the summer?
Possibly. Maybe Adogi goes left wing and he goes left back. What do you make of it? What's your first thought?
Listen, first of all, I was a bit shocked. How old is he now? 30?
He's 32 in March.
Okay.
So we'll have him for what? 2 years, 3 years tops, right?
2 years. Right.
2 years.
Listen, he can play centre-back. He was playing when they had all their injury crisis earlier in the season with the Canate out and all the rest of them. He was playing centre-back pre-season with Endo, playing left-sided centre-back, and he did okay. He can cross the ball, right? Very good crosser of the ball.
Brilliant crosser.
Good set-piece delivery. And I would say the one thing that Richie or whoever is playing up front, the lack of quality balls delivered into the box has been something that rankles with me.
Agreed.
So I would say be interested to see how much we're having to pay him.
Well, apparently he's on one, again, apparently is a big word. Apparently he's on somewhere in and around the 160 mark. But Johnny, again, this is what we've asked Spurs to do, right? We've asked as fans, pay the wages that you need to get these players.
Yeah.
For me, I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously, a lot of people are upset, Johnny, because as we all know, we want forwards. But for me, it shouldn't be an either or. It should be, okay, Andy Robertson can come in for, I don't know, what, 10 million maybe? The fee, I don't know. 10 million comes in. For me, it should be, right, now where's the forwards as well? It should be both, because we've got no left side at the moment. Our left side, for me, has always been a problem. So I think sensible would be the word I'd use. I'm happy with it, me personally. I don't see the drama.
I think it's a good signing. I think where a lot of the anger lies is that we've had to wait this long. We see a 19-year-old kid come in from Santos who's got lots of potential, but potential schmenschel. You know, where does that leave us? You know, but I think the first reaction is, why are we signing a 32, 33-year-old? What's that going to do with the club? These are probably the same people that are complaining, why are we signing kids, are now complaining, why are we signing mature people. Leader, Paulina, leader.
Yep.
Right.
Gallagher.
Leader. Okay. Can you see the theme?
Yeah.
Right?
You see what,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What we have is we talk about Arsenal being bottle jobs. I think we need to look within our own organisation to see some of the bottle jobs that have been going on. So I think it's a good one. It gives us depth, which is what we desperately need. What I'd like to know is how we're going to fix the rule that we can only interject 3 new players into the Champions League next phase when we've lost so many. I'm not sure. If you've got a long-term injury, can you swap the 3 and the long-term injuries out or not?
Good question, because wasn't the rule that if the player injured is going to be out, was it for 90 days or more? Is it 90 or 60? I'm not sure.
It's 60 days, but apparently that rule is now out the window and only applies to group stage only.
Right. So let's assume then that we can't swap out injured players. We're allowed to interject. We're allowed to interject 3 players. So Conor Gallagher will go in, right?
Yeah.
Andy Robertson, assuming he signs, will go in. You don't bring in Andy Robertson and leave him out of your champ. He's a Champions League winner. You know what I mean? This is the Champions League winner. This is a guy who was in the Champions League team of the year. So Gallagher, Robertson, who's the third?
Well, there lies the problem, isn't it?
So a left winger that we might buy.
Look, Kulu, forget it. Right, listening to on the show earlier, a shattered kneecap. We were talking about the whole kneecap just shattered, basically, and basically we talk about like ACLs and hamstring injuries. There's a long planned roadmap. Maybe Basuma or a new signing. There's a long-term roadmap for recovery from these injuries. There isn't one for a shattered kneecap, not the way that this injury is had. So they're sort of feeling their way around them. So Maddison is not going to be added to that squad, right? It's just not.
No.
And I don't believe that we will know very soon where Kulu is with his rehab, because it doesn't look like he will be invested either. The trouble is, if we put in Basuma, we're putting in Basuma, we're putting in Conor Gallagher, and we're putting in
Andy
Robertson. Where are we going? Look, we know Bentancur's done for this tournament. Yep. We know that Bergvall is 3 months. He's done for the tournament, right? I don't think he's going to be. I mean, they're not thinking he's going to be back for the World Cup knockout stage, which is March 26th. So I can't see him back for that. So, and we've also got a situation where we've got Kolo Muani, who I'm massively disappointed in. From a guy who I thought was unbelievable at Frankfurt, and you know what a player he is. And then he goes 90 million euros to PSG, plays, but the competition's stiff, and he goes out on loan to Juventus and absolutely, you know, does really, really well. Does really well in the Club World Cup. I was over the moon when we signed him. I think we signed an imposter because his body language and honestly, what that incident against Dortmund, where he couldn't be asked to run for the ball and just gave up, and Jed Spence ran from the left-hand side and got there first. Yeah. I don't know. We need attacking options though, no?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think most people are saying that, you know, I think we all know if I had interviewed every Spurs fan before the transfer window and said, right, we're only going to sign one player, what position's it going to be? I think the majority would have said left wing, right? I think the majority would have said left wing. Then with Brennan Johnson being sold and Kudus getting injured, you'd go, okay, right, well, we need wingers.
Yeah.
For me, the Robertson signing shouldn't have any detrimental effect on us being able to go and buy forwards. I think and what I'm about to say is going to be really contradictory here, Johnny. One, I haven't seen any links with forwards, but Gallagher came out of nowhere. Yeah. Andy Robertson has come out of nowhere. The Mawani deal came out of nowhere. Like the Morgan Gibbs White, when we tried, that came out of. So Spurs are definitely keeping their cards close to their chest. The question I have for you is in the next, I think there's 9 days, 10 days of the window to go. Yeah. Are we going to, in your opinion, do you think we're going to bring in a forward or forwards to help the attack?
Look, I think the biggest problem is the desire is there, Sav, but we are not an attractive proposition, right? We can sit here and have illusions of grandeur, but we have fallen from our perch. We aren't who we think we are. And therefore, you know, whilst you have ambition and you can say, I want to sign category A or A star. Yeah. A star. We are not attractive to A star right now. No. Too much uncertainty, position. Yes, you're in the Champions League now. You're not going to be in the Champions League next season. You're not going to, might not even be in Europe next season. The way we're playing, uncertainty about the manager. So, are we in category A? I don't think so. No, I think we are in probably category C, that has lots of potential. That we're selling in the story. Come to us. We want to make a big club. We want to be a special club. We're really building something special. And you can use us as a stepping stone to greatness, right? Mm-hmm. So like an Igor Thiago, who's at Club Bruges, we could have signed him for £30 million. I mean, I was watching him at Club Bruges. He was a bit hit and miss. Yeah. Yes, he was injured the first season. But, you know, signing a player like him for 30 million and then him turning out to be what he has been for Brentford this season. And there's lots of other examples of that. I think that's where we have to go. Unless we go for yesterday's heroes, like an Andy Robertson. But are there any of those in the attacking lineup? Because what happens is, as you get older as an attacker, it begins to wane. If you're relying on pace, as age creeps up, you lose a lot of your edge. But you would have to look for someone with guile, right? Like a Ruben Neves, right, for example, who is not old, but what I'm saying is he can get around the pitch, he can pass the ball. I don't know. I feel we need an attacking element.
We do. We need something fresh. We need something fresh in this forward line, don't we? That scares teams. You know, I think it said a lot for me that one of the best attacking performances I've seen all season was from a right back playing at left wing. You know, I think that sums it up for me. I think we need, you know, and there's a lot of talk about Lookman. I think we need someone that's got that go in them. When they get their ball, their first thought is, How am I getting into the box? How am I getting my shot away? How am I getting my crossing? For me, I think we've got too many that, I don't know, that, you know, that just that explosive nature that players have. You know, Defoe had it, Keane had it, Bale had it. These players, Son, Kane, they get in and around the box, they come alive. We don't have that, Johnny, at all. And, you know, I don't know, you know, like the Akliouche links have gone quiet. Lookman's gone quiet for far.
Disappointing. It was disappointing, Savva, in the game against Real Madrid. I mean,
who's that? Akliouche?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Listen, I watched them the other night. They lost at home to somebody 3-1. I don't know if it was Angers or Reynolds. They lost at home to someone. As a team, they looked awful. Akliouche did some really nice bits in the game. But again, I think it's difficult when we're judging players that are playing in a team that's not doing well. But look, it doesn't have to be Akliouche. I'm just saying, I don't know. Have the club got the scouting in them to pull out someone from somewhere? You know, we don't need to scout Gallagher. You know what he is. You don't, let's be fair. You don't say, oh, Andy Robertson's becoming available. Send the scout. You know what you're getting from Andy Robertson.
Required. We know exactly. It says what it says on the tin, right? Yeah. You don't have to open the tin and see what's inside, right? It's there, black and white. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting with Gallagher. You know what you're getting with Robertson. We don't know what we're getting with Souza. Yes, he's a talent. I've asked the people I know who know Brazilian football, and you know, I said I was a bit concerned he hadn't played since Brazil under-17s, and they said that's nothing to worry about because the turnaround. There's so many Brazilian youngsters. You know, they come in, they come out.
Yeah.
But you know, he's technically okay. But look, I just feel that we have slipped so far since 2019 that we have got a big mountain to climb, and it's not just it's just not on the pitch. It's the management structure, it's the medical structure, it's recruitment structure. What we had was Daniel Levy, who, being a megalomaniac, overseeing everything and employing people and doing their jobs. And now he's gone. That void has to be filled with various positions. You know, what they have done, they've done audit the club on off-field, on-field, medical, recruitment.
Yeah.
And that audit's taken a quite considerable amount of time. And now that report's come back, they're actioning it. So I don't think we're going to see, there's like a lag between that action and us seeing the results. I mean, Heitinger, for me, I know I see a lot of people, oh, he was at Ajax, he's shit. You know, what's he done? He got the sack. I think if you look at the fact that he came through the Ajax Academy, he played in a World Cup. He's had a top professional career, and judging by doing some research with the Liverpool fan base and Liverpool, a lot of the players were upset that he left slot at Liverpool last year. But you know, he wanted to further his career, and he went to Ajax and it didn't quite work out. I'm not sure whether or not they had that week to prepare and a few days to prepare. Has he interjected something into the players that gave him that edge? I don't know. I'm surmising, but maybe you know, I have to look and say what made us more attackingly attractive. Was it the fact that Dortmund weren't physical? Was it the fact that they just left us more space and came to attack us, or has something changed? Because the one thing we've all been upset about this season is that our lack of attacking intent. And I think Frank's got it wrong. I think he knows he's got it wrong. Personally, I don't think we should sack him, although I'm disappointed in how it's all transpired. I think he needs to be given to the summer, come what may. But give him some tools. Give him a tool. Give him an attacking tool. You know, all right, if you can't use him in the Champions League, right, I don't care about that, right? Let's start giving him some tools for right here, right now. And I don't see any links right now. So you could be right. It could be something completely out of the blue. Not a Somerville for me. Not interested in any of that.
See, I said earlier in the show, Johnny, Somerville for me would have been the young winger I would have got 2 years ago when he was at Leeds, rather than an Odeber, right? That's who I would have gone for. 2 years down the line, again, you know, I think there's a good footballer in there, but is he a victim of West Ham? Is he just not as good as we thought? But something you said there was really, really interesting. And I see you talk about this quite a lot when I watch the Spurs 5.
Yes.
When we talk about change at football clubs, when we talk about new owners or medical departments or scouts or players, I think in our minds, we expect like that. We expect overnight, look how good we are. And I think that is why they're not getting rid of Frank. I think they realize that there's a hell of a lot wrong at this football club and that it needs to change. That you know, you called it when you walked in here earlier. When you came in, the first thing you said, Paulinho, leader, Gallagher, leader, Robertson, leader. So this guy's clearly come in and identified, I don't have captains. I don't have leaders. I don't have men that have been there, seen it and done it.
100%.
Now he has. And if you get Robertson in, that's another one. I think we're way too reactionary with it, Johnny. And I can only imagine the videos that are being made right now about the Andy Robertson signing. Yeah. It's not what we need. You've got Sosa, who is not ready. I don't believe he's played 25 games in his career. There's no way he's going to be ready. You've got Destiny Udogie, who cannot stay fit for love nor money. He just can't. Ben Davies has gone down for the rest of the season, and I'm guessing that will see him out the door in the summer.
Yeah, he was going to sign for Nice. He was going to sign for Nice.
Well, there you go. So for me, sensible, solid signings needed. But I agree with most of the fan base. Like you said there, we just need that little bit of stardust up top. We need that tool that you give him and go, right, you've got your leaders in the midfield and the defense now. Now you've got some more attackers. You've got no excuse. Do you know what I mean? And I think we could be onto something really good with one or two of the right forward signings. I don't think it's terrible, but I do feel that there's, even for how well we played on Tuesday night, you never feel that loads of goals are going to happen. You never feel like when Porro went through on goal, not one part of me thought this is going to end up in the net. When Mawani goes through on goal, not one part of me thinks this is going to go in the net. And we've got to get that, Johnny, desperately.
You know what I really like to see? I better get my battery pack in case I crash out because I'm almost on empty. I'd love to see Andy Robertson at left back, at left back. And I'd like to see Udogie push forward as an attacking player on the left-hand side. This is what I'd like to see. It's not going to happen. Sure. But I'd like to see Porro push forward and Spence, or vice versa, on the right-hand side, dovetailed. Because I think it would give us extra defensive cover and we would have the pace. If anyone remembers Destiny Udogie when he was playing at Udinese, he used to pick up the ball wide and drive forward. He was so attacking. Goals, assists, right? We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that. Under Ange, he was inverted and found himself running into like Piccadilly Circus. He didn't have the space. We saw how effective Jed Spence was playing on that left-hand side, further forward. When we signed him from Forest, he was a rampaging, right-sided wing-back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're putting him on his left side. We're not seeing the best of Jed Spence. So I wouldn't mind seeing Pedro Porro on the right, Jed Spence right wing, Andy Robertson left back, and Destiny, if he can stay fit, and an Odeber, whoever, on that left-hand side, or switching positions. Let me go get my charger. It'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're all good, mate. You're all good. You're all good. By the way, I'm just going to add a screenshot here. Again, when I see things, right, like this is what makes me laugh. Yeah, and Ash has called it out before I can. When people just say things like this, Robertson is as injury prone as Udogie. Again, this is the classic. Someone saying something but without actually going and doing their research. And this is what the internet is full of, right? Now, let me add this in. Okay, let me show you. So here is, I don't know how big this is going to come up on the screen. So people are saying Andy Robertson is injury prone. If you actually look there, right, he's not injury prone. He had the massive injury. Which saw him miss 24 games. Other than that, look at that. The biggest other than that has been a 7-game stretch.
Yeah.
That's not massively injury prone. So I've got no problem with that at all, Johnny. Any concerns from your point of view?
Well, no, I mean, I suppose when you're looking at that 23, 24 from that injury, he's had probably 4 other injuries, whether they're, a knock on from the other. What happens quite often when you have an ACL or a major injury, you're sort of overcompensating, and the injury here, without you realizing it, is affecting your balance, how you run, small intricacies, and they can affect, and you put more strain on the other leg or on a calf or something like that. So, but look, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I think he's, like I said, experience, can cross a ball, can play at left centre back. So what are you going to do? If we have a Mickey van der Ven goes down, you've got Robertson, who, if need be, can play in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think that we've got to remember that Destiny Udogie needs somebody to learn from as well. So far, you've got no one they're learning from. By the way, for anyone that cares, yes, Fabrizio Romano's joining in the party now with this one. He said negotiations underway, which we knew. And again, confirming that this is after Ben Davies went down injured. And I think people have got to remember that. For whatever we think about Ben Davies, he could play left back or centre back. And him being out for the season leaves us very short. And I said, Johnny, I don't know if you agree with me on this. I said now what I think will happen is I think Radu Dragusin will depart the club in the next week. I think that he's not getting games. He's 4th in the pecking order. And what I think that will mean is that we see Van der Ven and Romero as your 2 main ones. Danso as a more than reliable, rotation player. And then I think what you will start to see is Byfield get a few minutes here, a few minutes there. It gives you Porro and Spence at right back, and it gives you Udogie and Robertson at left back. That's all right, isn't it? As a back 8, that's all right, isn't it?
I still think they might look to replace him. One player that I've spoken about this a few times. It doesn't seem to be getting enough coverage for me. Is the beast that we signed from Blackburn, Ashley Phillips. Playing as a centre back for Blackburn at 16, 17 years of age, in a physical league, not coming through the academy, playing academy, not lots of physical contact. He goes out and he's had 2 fantastic seasons at Stoke City. He's playing in, week out. He's 6'4". Is he the finished article? No. But I think he's one that not a lot of people are keeping their eye on. I think they're all focused on Vuskovic and the likes. But I think he could be the sort of Danso replacement. Personally, I really do. I definitely think he's one.
Well, no manager's given him minutes though, Johnny. Have they? Like no one's given him minutes, and the problem that he's going to have for me.
He's playing. The thing is, he's better where he is playing week in, week out in the Championship for Stoke than playing in the academy and going nowhere.
I completely agree with you. But what I was going to say was the problem that I think he's got is that there's a certain young man also coming back from loan called Vuskovic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He's got all of the hype, all of the attention.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Look, guys, I'm going to wrap up in about 5 minutes. But just before we go, Johnny, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if this kind of carries on from what you were saying about Gary being on your show, but I saw this on Sky Sports today, and it showed current injuries and suspensions at Tottenham, and this isn't just about this season, this has been going on for years now, and you can see there so many injured players, right? And then it shows the number of days lost to injury and illness, and we're over 1,000. It's a real concern, isn't it, Johnny, that this has been like this now for 2.5 seasons. What's going on?
Honestly, you need to watch. I mean, I don't know if I've plugged it, but you really need to. Like, if you have got any interest in the medical scenario or any interest in Tottenham Hotspur, you need to watch the show because it's really in depth. We hope to have him on for an hour. It was on for an hour and a half, and we literally went through the entire, the tracking of injuries, the red zone. Mistakes that have been made. We talk about recruitment, and I've always said, why can't we stick to an ethos of style, progressive, forward-thinking football, and only buy players to suit that style? But what we have is we flip-flop. We go from pragmatic to offensive, from offensive to pragmatic. Yeah. And I only thought that was in the team and the management. But listening to Gary talk, it's very much in the medical department as well. One manager has his set methods. 18 months later, the players are doing different exercises. They're doing different training, different things. So the body isn't used to one set, controlled method. Now, whether all this flipping and flopping with the training and how they approach the warm down, the warm up and red zone and everything is obviously affecting us. We need to have a strategy to stick to and maintain down the line, regardless of who the manager is, because it's one thing changing your players every 18 months, but if you have a different approach to the medical science and everything every 18 months, we're backwards and forwards. I mean, he was saying that Ange didn't even bring a guy with him to train the guys from a physical point of view to cope with the recovery runs, which is why you saw now. So if you look at our injuries now, they're quite broad spectrum. We're not seeing like 9 hamstring injuries or 8 hamstring injuries. A lot of them are impact injuries, game impact injuries. These sort of injuries can't really be helped. We've just been very unfortunate. But I think the implementation of a regime and a method of dealing with the medical issue that we have can't be cured overnight. It just can't be. It first of all has to be implemented. You have to bring the people in, and those the strategies that they set out take time before we start to see we were playing gung-ho football that for me was totally unrealistic under Ange. Do people honestly think we can change that culture, having been indoctrinated them for 2 years, that suddenly we can turn it to another complete opposite system? You can't.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I always liken it to, when you buy a house and, you can't quite afford the house that's completely ready to go. So you buy the house that's 100 grand cheaper, but you're going to have to do a lot of work. Yeah. Right. And it's like moving in on day one and going, oh my God, why isn't the kitchen fixed? Why isn't the lighting fixed? Well, these things take time. When myself and my wife renovated our house, paying people, I wouldn't know what to do to any of this. Yeah. We didn't have the bathroom, kitchen, bedrooms, lighting, piping all being fixed at once. It was like, right, let's get that room done. Right, that's done. Yeah. We now do this. And this is the thing at Spurs. We never seem to want to go through enough pain to get that done. We never seem to, like, when you think people have been asking for a left back, and they've been asking for winners and not kids to come in. We do that. The first thing we do is go, it's like, whoa, hang on. Let's Give it a bit of time. And that's why personally, I've said that I feel like he might need to go for him more than anything else. But if he can turn this around, fair play to him. But look, Johnny, I want to just do a few super chats, then I'm going to send everyone over to Shawnee. Big up to the Big D. Every day for 5 years, I've enjoyed listening to you, Savva. Devastated you were hanging up the mic. I lost my dad, age 52, through suicide 2 years ago, and this channel was a good distraction. Thanks for everything. Best of luck. Look, Big D, first of all, I'm glad that it's been a source of positivity for you, or distraction, or whatever. I'm not one of these people that says sorry when somebody dies, because I hate it when people say that to me about my parents. It's tough. I'm sure you're getting through it. I'm sure you're remembering the good times, and it gets easier, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is in terms of you can't change it. But if you ever need to talk to someone, make sure you talk to someone. That's all I'll say. Just don't bottle anything in, and listen, keep pushing through, keep growing, and make sure that it wasn't in vain. So big up to you, and thank you for the very generous donation, my man. And thank you for the kind words. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. You come in again as a member for 21 months and said, Robbo at least can cross the ball. I tell you what, he gets a lot of assists and he can cross a football. None of ours can seem to cross a football. So yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, my man. Playful Spurs said, for me, Savva, it's not just what he brings on the pitch, and he will be invaluable for our young kids to learn from. The experience is priceless. I completely agree with you, mate. And I think a lot of the times we're very reactionary rather than saying, okay, this isn't the needle mover we need in the forward areas, but he does give us a lot in the defensive areas and on the training ground and with the youth players and for Sosa and when Vuskovic comes back and yada, yada, yada. So big up to you. Dean Law with a super sticker, always with a super stickers. Big up to you, Dean Law. Always appreciate you, my man. And last but not least is Jordan Coys, who's always very generous to me. So thank you very much, Jordan. Said, Adogi isn't reliable when it comes to fitness. Unfortunately, that is true. Davis is out. Can we really expect a 19-year-old to come into this mess and hit the ground running? I'm happy with Robertson, but absolutely we need 2 attackers this month. Jordan, I don't disagree with any of that. If Spurs go and buy at least a good attacker, hopefully 2, and Robertson and Gallagher in this window, I as a fan have to take a step back and say, fair play. Fair play. You've gone and added 4 players that walk straight into the first team, that are better than what we've got. Fair play. Right now, we're on that, teetering on that edge. Is that going to happen or not? But big up to you, Jordan. Completely agree with you. Right, everybody, I'm going to send you over to Sean. When you have been over to Sean, go over to Football Inc. and watch the show from earlier with Gary. Johnny assures us it's a good one. So I'm going to go and watch that now. Johnny, thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time.
No worries, mate. No worries. And I'm going to hop on to Sean's now. I didn't even know he was on.
There you go. Right. So there you go. Follow Johnny over to Sean. Take care, everyone. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Cheers.